Started. So,
Yo, this camera's not back, so we can delete I want.
okay, well, it's gonna be this way.
In the middle of like volume one with my neighbors.
Volume war?
Yeah,
So which one is
like
which one is
just the slightest bit of like bass
This is the one.
frequency reverberates like all the way.
Oh, then I guess you're gonna have to do the mouse and pointer.
Yeah, so more between like their desire for peace and quiet and my desire for productivity.
So you know,
It's like that.
we need to tell Jason a little story.
We're about to get started. So I'll do Brian. You're gonna have to do this.
Jason.
Oh yeah, we're
Okay.
What's up, bro?
How's it going, man?
Very good, very good. I should do it all right. Doesn't matter. Wouldn't work that much.
Welcome, everybody. On behalf of our executive board, our artist roster, and the other 41 members of our company, I want to say thank you for coming to our press conference. So just to give you guys a little bit about our company, since we started, we've amassed over 800,000 YouTube views. We broke 1.2 million streams on SoundCloud. We have a network of over 70,000 social media followers. And today, officially, the thing I wanted to announce was that we're going to be the largest electronic record label in the Midwest. But what does that mean, right? It's like when a pizza place says, we have the best pizza in town. How do you quantify that? That was a question that Bob and I were even talking about. One, we will have the largest talent roster in this region. We also have 5 annual events that I want to tell you about. We have 3 weekly events. We have 2 monthly, and we're going to be streaming across every digital platform that there is for the artists that we have on our roster. So just to kind of tell you what that means. It's not really our goal. Being the largest in the Midwest isn't what we really care about. Instead, we want to be the most interactive record label on the planet. And in that kind of context, the idea is we want to be able to provide you guys, fans, the opportunity to be involved with us as much as a label as our artists. We want you guys to be able to help plan events. We want you guys to be able to help pick out new singles, to help decide artwork, to help decide the direction that this company moves forward. Because realistically, we're not a company where there's some guy that sits on a mountain and tells young people what to do. I'm the oldest person that works here. I'm 27. We're a company that's built by people like you. People from different backgrounds, socioeconomics, people of different ethnicities, origins, orientations. Our record label is comprised of people that just decided to think music differently. Now, I won't even sit here and begrudge you. We are a free music record label. And a lot of people say, well, how do you make money as a free music record label? You guys are all here music business majors, right? Who in here is a music business major? All right.
Music majors.
All right, who's here just in music? Who's here majoring in anything regarding music?
There we go.
All right, great.
Oh, that counts.
Oh, that counts. So then you guys know better than anyone that music is used to sell everything but music. That's the thing. Sales and everything else have gone out. Singles are died. CDs are dead. You have to make 40 million streams to make $96,000 on Spotify. It's done. Instead, we use music as a tool to aggregate larger sources of income. So for Gmail, for example, do you have a Gmail? Do you pay for your Gmail? If they charge you $1 a year, would you be mad?
No.
Exactly, but they don't, because it aggregates. For them, it's their advertising. For us, we use music as a tool to generate brand partnerships, advertising, product placement, tours, merchandising, and a lot of other ancillary products, special events. Instead of trying to get you to buy a $99 single, I would much rather you come out to a show. Instead of trying to get you to buy an album, I'd much rather you buy a t-shirt. And that's how we generate money for our company, for the people that are working for us, and for our roster. So, with that being said, I think it's important that we talk about music. So, when I said that we have one of the largest talent roster in this region in electronic music, we also have one of the most eclectic. We're not an electronic record label that has a specialty. We don't just focus on house. We don't just focus on tech. We don't just focus on dubstep. We don't just focus on anything. Realistically, we work in the house of electronic. And we're in a space now where the lines are getting so blurred, it's hard to tell a top 40 song from an electronic song. Granted, sure could, but that's not really the issue. Instead, we focus on music produced electronically. This year, coming up, we will release 200 songs for free. On top of that, we will have over 100 music videos for free from our roster. In fact, we'll be releasing a new song every week of every month of every year forever. So before we go there, I want to kind of talk about our roster. Well, there we go. The lovely gentleman you see at the top is Steve Noah. If you guys know him, of course he goes here. We also have Zaina, who is one of our rosters. JBO is not here. He's in Puerto Rico. We're actually getting him here hopefully in November. Jay Escalada, who is there. Myself, I do stuff. We have Subfront, we have Neptune, and we have John Joshua. What you're seeing is a roster that focuses from everywhere from minimal tech to your top 40 electronic sound, to your dubstep, to your trap. Literally, they focus on everything. And that's kind of what we want to bring to you guys, in a sense. So on top of being able to bring 200 free songs next year, on top of being able to release 100 music videos, we also are going to be releasing probably about 16 to 20 full-length projects. I think music, especially electronic, is a space. You have a lot of remixes, you have a lot of singles, but I think where the industry is going to go is back into the creativity where artists have to put together projects that we enjoy. I think that's one of the things where we've been missing that gap in our space, where you'll see an album or an EP come out, and it sounds like a bunch of put together pieces. When we decided to build our roster, we wanted to build people that were able to create art and not just create music. So along with that, we're no longer going to be distributing just through SoundCloud anymore. We've partnered with every one of these companies on the board to distribute music. Our biggest players with being Apple Music, Spotify, Pandora, of course. But we're going to be doing Beatport Pro to Deezer, to Beats Music, to Mixer, to 24/7. We're going to be putting music everywhere because realistically, streaming's gone up while everything else is going down. With that as well, we want to say thanks to our partners at Boomcast, who are also going to be allowing us to distribute download cards every week to 500 stores in the US. Have you guys ever went to Starbucks and picked up one of the like little Apple free app cards and then you dump 20 of them in your back pocket and then like you never download the app? Something like that. But a lot cooler of a design. So with that, we're not just going to be releasing music and we're not just going to be releasing music videos. Like I said, we want to be one of the most interactive record labels on the planet. So we're going to be releasing live mixes. We're going to be releasing live streams, artist Q&As. We're going to be asking you guys input from who we should have play to how we should design events. What should be the curfew? What should be ticket price? Our artists will connect with you as much as we connect with you. Because realistically, there is nobody bigger between the record label and the artist and the fan anymore. We're all just creators. You guys create careers, which is the difference. So that is talking about music, but I think before that, I'd love to give you guys a minor preview of one of the songs that we're going to be having coming out soon from one of our artists, John Joshua. So with that, we've talked music, we've talked videos, let's talk content. We've assembled a great writing team that is going to be releasing a bunch of content through one of our partners at BuzzFeed. Through the BuzzFeed community, we're going to be releasing at least one new story a day, 2 until we finish building our media network, which will have 30 writers and 10 editors, which we hope to have released by January next year. Along with the content that we're going to be having, whether it be different articles on pop culture, or college news, or sports, or entertainment, we're also going to be releasing a comic strip that kind of gives light to life in electronic. And on top of that, we're going to be doing a weekly podcast series where we'll talk about music and a bunch of other stuff. In fact, the people that are leading that pipeline is Allison, who is there. Allison, say hi. And Matt is the creator of our comic strip called Walk of Shame. So that's in regard to us and content. But more than that, we should talk weekly events. And where it's really great to announce, we will be the only record label in this city with its own venue. Starting today, we will have our nightclub on 117 West Hubbard called Graffiti. We're moving in there and we're rebuilding the entire space and putting a new series of events. I could tell you about how great Graffiti is so far, but I'd rather, of course, show you another video of the space. So that's graffiti in a nutshell. It's located right in the heart of Hubbard Street, 117 West Hubbard. It's on the penthouse on one of the most, what I think is one of the coolest buildings in the city.
And when you're 21, maybe you'll go there.
Yes.
That's soon.
The idea of the place is that we want to usher in a new culture. We want to usher in a new environment in there. We want to create a space that has a plethora of different content. I don't know if you guys ever been down there, but it gets really stuffy on Hubbard, realistically. And it's very vanilla. And we want to kind of change that and bring in a different culture and bring in a different content where our audience doesn't look like a bunch of guys in suits, but looks more like you guys with gel. Let's talk a little bit more about the calendar that we're putting together. I'm very proud of it. It's a little bit different. You guys can tell me if you like it or not. So the first event we're going to be doing is on Tuesday, and it is Tech Tuesdays. Is anybody in here a tech person? No? My man. All right, so we're going to be revitalizing Tech Tuesdays from 6 to whenever, where people in different areas of technology, whether it be apps or software or music or whatever, can just come and be and drink and commune and just have a good time interacting with each other. Our Wednesdays, we're moving into old school hip hop night. Now, don't think old school hip hop night like, I went into the store and I got myself a hat. Nothing like that. Like, not old school hip hop like in that era. Like, we're going, think like late graduation, college dropout, think early Drake, think albums that really don't seem that old but came out where it's kind of cool. Our Thursdays are going to be a little niche. We're going to focus on specific niches of electronic community with different groups here in Chicago to put together great niche nights for Thursdays, whether it be tech, deep house, you name it. We're going to kind of focus on different niches on Thursdays. Now, I will tell you, Fridays are going to be a little bit different. Friday is uncensored. So luckily, one of our friends, actually the person that leads our arts development department, ran the #1 nightclub in London. It's called, what is it?
Mason.
Yes, it's called Mason House. We wanted to bring a very underground London nightclub feel for the weekend because realistically, I personally hate going out because it's, hey, here's a bar and here are people, figure it out. Instead, we want to kind of create experiences. So I can tell you guys a little bit about Uncensored, but of course, I'd rather show you. Yes. Oh no, there's no video. Oh, I am not showing you a video. Sorry.
Remix.
Instead, that would be okay.
I think if you allow it once.
All right, so I'll tell you about Saturdays then. Saturdays are Rave of Wall Street. Did you guys ever see Wolf of Wall Street? Who in here has seen Wolf of Wall Street? All right, take that and put it here. Kind of in the sense. It's gonna be just a really big, fun, disgusting dance party. But when you walk in, you get a tie. Because you get to be a broker when you walk in.
Not broke, just be broke.
So that's Rave of Wall Street, and that is the calendar that we're putting together every week, starting in October at Graffiti. Those are our weekly events. Monthly, not everybody here likes to go to clubs, and not everybody here is 21. So for those of us that don't like to go out often, we've created a series of monthly events. Our first one, bless you, is movie nights. Actually starting this Friday. Are you guys going to see Maze Runner? Anybody? Nobody?
Maze Runner 2.
There you go. Yeah, Maze Runner. Okay. All right, cool. So 7:30 on Friday, like once a month, we just get a bunch of people and we go watch movies. So we have a theater that we partnered with in Rogers Park. It's called New 400. It's like $12 and you get movie and you get like either a large popcorn or a drink or 2 drinks or however you want to mix it up. And realistically, we just go and watch movies and yell at the screen all day. So we do that once a month. Also once a month, we are going to be doing, oh yeah, they do have, if you're 21, they do have a bar.
Drink and watch.
Yeah. We're also doing monthly pong. So who in here plays beer pong? None of you guys would beat me in beer pong, but if you thought you could, we partner with the Anthem in Wicker Park. We do monthly pong events, and it is exactly what you think it is. It's like 10 tables of people playing pong all day and drinking beers or sodas if you're not 20. So those are our weekly events. Now we're talking annual, which I'm very excited to talk to you about. Our first annual event is for New Year's. It is going to be a 24-hour New Year's Eve party. It'll start on New Year's Eve, and it will go through New Year's Day. We'll be announcing headliners shortly. It is called Night, New Year's Eve Day. I am most excited about Night because it's ridiculous. And when I say ridiculous, every hour something new happens. So at 8 o'clock, for example, I know at 8 p.m., I think like 20 people dressed like Ninja Turtles come out and give pizza. And like, I think at 9 o'clock, all the lights go off, then it turns into like a glow party. And then like, I forgot what happens at 1. The later it gets, the worse it gets. I'll just say that. We're also going to do electronic music awards of the year there, but no trophies. We're going to give out big, huge like WWE championship belts. It's 18 and up, so if you guys are 18, you are going to be able to go. And also, if the one person is able to make it all 24 hours gets Raver of the Year. Bless you if you can make it all 24 hours. I might throw in an extra incentive in there as well. Our second event that we're having is in April, MMC, which is the Make Music Conference. We're going to be curating some of the best speakers, music personalities, DJs, producers, crews, booking agents, agencies, etc., to come to our 3-day conference that we're going to host. It'll have a job fair for people that want to create careers in music. It'll also have different panels and workshops for people of all levels, not just for music production, but music business as well. I'm really excited to do the Make Music Conference. Bob, maybe you'll come speak at the conference and do a panel or something. Sweet.
I accept.
All right. You guys heard you say you do it for free. All right, so
The music.
our third event is the road trip tour that we're putting together now. Road trip tour is going to be a compartmentalized college tour that we're going to do between 8 to 10 schools where we're gonna get a really big funky bus and go through really large parties that have paint or some sort of ridiculousness with them, with our roster, and also featuring artists in that town as well. So that is Road Trip, which we're looking somewhere in February-ish to hope to start. So another event that we're doing is Day Trip Music Festival, the second annual Day Trip Music Festival. The first year did pretty well. It was 10,000 people over 3 days. And we did that with a micro budget. When I say micro, probably less than all of you guys have in your pocket. This year, we are expanding the festival. We're hoping to do 30,000 people in 3 days. We're adding a carnival. We're adding an entire new lineup of headliners. We're putting 7 figures into this project. Luckily, to some great partners, where last year we did it for less than 10,000. So it'll be a much different festival than anything you guys got to see last year. We're upgrading sound, we're upgrading stages, we're upgrading equipment, we're upgrading artists, we're upgrading everything, because we want to turn Day Trip into the next electronic music festival in Chicago. It doesn't have VIP. I hate VIP at events. I think it's ridiculous. If you guys ever got to see our site before, there was a huge disclaimer on why we hate VIP so readily. We think everybody should have the same music experience, and realistically, going to an event shouldn't be between paying your rent. Who here went to a festival this year? Who here went to more than 2? How much did you pay for your tickets? How much did you, keep your hands up. How much did you pay for your ticket? Yeah. Sure. All right, we're gonna start Day Trip somewhere under $50, period. I just don't think that should be a thing for people to do. And I don't think VIP should separate you. I hate going to Coachella personally because I hate looking to my right and seeing a bunch of people in couches and swimming pools while I am literally elbow to elbow with some dude breathing on my neck. So after that, we're going to be doing in August the Bam Pow 5K, which is Jessica's crown and joy. I'll tell you about Bam Pow after that, but before I do that, I'm going to give you guys a recap of what last year Day Trip was able to do with a video.
We can build a treehouse in the pine trees. We can keep our secrets buried underneath. Flowers crack between our fingers. Into the wild things are ready, guys. Compass pointing home, coming up from the east. Compass pointing anywhere, closer to me. You can make it out from the depths of the sea. Compass points you anywhere, closer to me. Anywhere,
So yeah, that was actually it was this June, which was really cool. It was our first beta of a festival, and we're really excited to build it out. I know Patrick and Joel were two of the main people that are out beating the streets, making that happen. Patrick, Joel, say hi to the last annual event that we have is going to be this Band Pal 5K. It is Jessica's baby. We're going to be raising money. It's a 5K with a concert, literally, but we're going to be raising money for children that are victims of human trafficking. You want to say something about Band
Yes,
Pal?
hi, I'm Jessica. I'm Quebec, and this is my baby. This is the Band Pal. This is going to be unlike any other race that you've ever seen in Chicago. We're going to have full electric music concerts. We're also going to have a superhero theme. So you get to come and dress up as your favorite superhero. We're going to have a pop art theme genre, and it's going to run through Grant Park. We've got Kara. We're going to have a ton of other major racing companies, and we're going to have some great sponsors. So come out and support a great cause. We're going to raise money to save children from child sex trafficking. It is, even if you don't run, we're going to have a walkers race. So just try and walk. It's good for you. We're going to have it in a beautiful locale.
Walking's healthy too.
Walking is a great thing. And you're going to get some great music. Hopefully we'll have some great artists. And yeah, it's going to be a great event.
Show at the end, right?
Oh yes, it will have a great show at the end.
Thanks, Jess. So, with all that said, realistically, to conclude all this, right? This is more than just about doing a bunch of events or having a nightclub or having a really talented artist. This is more about bridging the gap in electronic music. We think there's a major separation between fans and labels in regard to labels chuck stuff out at you and then say, like it. And if you don't like it, I would play it 12 more times until you do. Instead, we don't view ourselves here and you there. You guys really are us. You really are the record label. You guys really are Maek in a nutshell, because your opinions, your suggestions are going to guide the direction of this company, whether it be our events or our artists and everything else that we do. So with that, I want to say thank you for your time. And I want to open the floor to as many questions that you guys might have. But I say thank you for your time first.
Yeah. Thank you for your time. Questions, comments, concerns, queries, comments?
Yes.
Now, regarding graffiti, was almost kind of the inspiration for that several, specifically in Chicago, several venues and clubs kind of trying to put up non-EDM music because of things was associated with. Was it kind of to give it almost a safe space?
You know what? I think for a little bit of it was, but also going out a lot, working in music, I noticed that you have a lot of segmentation in regard to where music is. You have a lot of stereotypes of what people listen to, and you see different groups partying in different places, right? Rich people listen to trance, right? That's not true. But literally, if you go to any club that is, supposed to be for affluent people, and you're gonna hear trance, you're gonna hear some house.
You're talking about Paris.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm just saying clubs, right?
We could say it.
Hip hop nights happen at clubs that you don't want to go to, or venues. Electronic music is pushed out to the suburbs, right? I think that realistically, all that can just end. And we wanted to be able to bring something really cool for people with different backgrounds to the city and put it somewhere in the smack dab of the city where people can come and party on Hubbard right next to the dude that just bought $400 bottle service next door. So we wanted it to be that way.
How do you choose your artists, like, for your?
Roster?
Yeah.
I don't know. I flipped a coin on all these guys. No, I mean, realistically, we put together a really new roster. And we wanted to pick artists that we thought had the ability to have careers. That's one thing at this company we're really focused on. I don't care about hot singles. It's not my thing. I'd rather try to build a career for an artist that lasts 5 albums and 5 projects. And realistically, when they're irrelevant, which happens after a while, they are able to do something else within the field and have a space for themselves. So when you see, Neptune or, Jay Oscalado, you see Steve Noah sitting here, these are all artists that we believe very confidently are going to make music that is going to be amazing. Just listen to the stuff they made before we got them. We were really impressed. And I think the stuff that they're about to release is going to surpass everything they've ever done. So, we picked them because we saw a lot in them in all different stages. So, yeah, that's how. Anybody else? Yes.
When was the conference?
We're going to do it in April. Yeah, we're going to do it in April. We're picking what weekend in April. I'm thinking the first weekend in April, but I don't want it to overlap with another conference because there's another one that's coming up, so I don't want it to super overlap with that. Great. So a lot of places. Our website, which I think just got launched. We just relaunched our new website. It's www.makeme.com, MAEKME.com. We're everywhere, all over the web.
Yeah.
Any more questions? Yes, dude.
How exactly did you get all those sponsorships and whatnot? Because, I saw everything from this, from Xbox to Mixer. I just didn't think that as something that just started but already had a good support system. How exactly did you establish that?
Great question. And realistically, a lot of long days and a lot of phone calls and a lot of negotiating. But realistically, just selling somebody on the idea of what you believe in. We have 3 of the largest partners in electronic music that have been supporting us from day one when they helped with the festival. We had EDM.com, we had Your EDM, and we had the Oomps. They were a part of what we do. When you think of electronic music, you think of those 3. Out past a lot of stuff. And really, it just turns into us reaching out and trying to make connections. We don't try to isolate ourselves in regard to some companies, and this is what we do, and this is where we are. Like, we try to partner with everybody because realistically, that's the only way that you can do something better for the space. Because at the end of the day, it's really important to do something that's going to make electronic music a little bit better as a culture than just doing something to say you did it. Like with the music conference, for example, I want a lot of record labels to be there, and I want people of all different backgrounds to share their experience. I think that there's a way for us to be able to come together as a community and produce great stuff than being so segmented and saying, oh, well, this label did this, and this did that, and this artist did this. We really try to overlap everything. Yes?
Can I just add really quickly? We'll definitely get to your question next. When Jason was putting all this together for the Day Trip Festival, the only way I know Jason is because one of his employees was in my class, and we just networked about the subject of sponsorship.
Yeah.
At the time, he was looking for sponsors. And just like you see here, this presentation, there's an equally impressive presentation to try to get those sponsors. There's a lot of documentation about the sponsorship offer in what we would call like a marketing deck that you guys never see. Consumers don't see, but that would be pitched specifically to sponsors to get that sale. So there is a lot of work. The reason I got to know Jason so well is I have a weekly meeting at a studio that's near a Starbucks.
Yes.
An undisclosed Starbucks.
No, we can disclose it now. We moved.
You moved?
Yeah. No. Yeah, we used to work at a Starbucks. I will tell you guys that right away.
I literally see him every single Friday at the exact same time.
Yeah.
And he's always working. He's always in the same place, in the same corner, surrounded by people doing something.
Yeah, realistically, I'm just here. The people that really make stuff happen are, Darian and Ron John and Patrick and Joel and Matt and Kyle and Maek and Kelsey and Jessica and Zaina and all these guys, even Tyler, for the longest of times, Balaji. This guy right here literally just came and cut hair for a day. When we had a photo shoot for our artists. It's really everybody else that comes together and make things great. Like, we're not $1 million company where we're just sitting, like, we just moved to Hubbard. It's literally like, it's like when you give poor people stuff. That's what we are. We're like, we're stuff now. We used to work out of Starbucks literally every day of every inch of the week. We get there at 7 and we leave till they close, and then we go to the 24-hour Starbucks to continue.
Am I not going to see you anymore?
No, we left. Dude, I went to a Starbucks literally. And there's LaRon, and he does tons of art.
I miss
We literally went to Starbucks the other day and got a coffee, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I used to work here. And I guess I felt like, whoa, am I bougie now? Like can I not go to Starbucks anymore? So, that's kind of how that went.
Your question was next. I didn't want to forget you.
It was so long ago.
Any more questions, thoughts, comments, concerns? You're more than welcome to fire away
There's
anything.
questions on YouTube.
Ooh, there are. Ooh,
She
what, tell,
remembers.
I think she remembers.
Oh, she got it. She got it.
She got it.
all right.
I remember my question. How are you getting the chance to work with labels and artists that you're talking about for your meeting that you're going to be having, and then for the music festival? How are you working with large artists and labels?
We know a lot of booking agencies and we make calls. And having a venue now makes it a lot easier because we book a lot of talent. So just to give you guys my background, one, I'm very impressed with everybody here because you guys are a lot braver than I was when I was your age. I know I'm not that old, but realistically, I wanted to do music and I was too scared to do it. I did it on the side, at 15, I started as a roadie for BB King, and then I did his tour marketing and managing for his House of Blues tours. And from there, I was doing artist development and branding. That's where I made my background. And I used to go to label and work on project to projects, very Olivia Popish. And even doing that, I still didn't think music was possible. So I was majoring in all these other things. I got a bachelor's in poli-sci, and I did a master's, and I did a PhD. I did all this stuff because I was too scared to do what I wanted to do. And I remember I was working at this architecture firm, and I was sitting in my cubicle, and I realized how much I hated my life. And that one day, everybody, like all my parents will die, and I would just be sitting here with my cubicle. And I did not want that. So I quit. I quit my job, and my house for those 4 months literally turned into a cave. I had my lights cut off, water cut off, power cut off, everything you can to move back to Chicago. Literally, I used to go to Pizza Hut / Taco Bell and fill up water cups because my water got cut off. And I used to go to the Kroger and fill up pails of water because I didn't have people thought I watched cars, but that was for the day. It was so thorough in my apartment. And I moved to Chicago with a friend of mine, and we moved here and said, we're going to start this company, man. No idea. And we saved up every inch and every nickel. And we failed miserably. It was the worst thing ever. And then it took a year off to figure that part out. And all the time, they're still what are you doing? So now it's 2012, we're trying to figure it out. And then it came in 2013 to just create something that you would want to be around every day. And that's kind of how this idea, and that's kind of how all the people that are here that work with us kind of came to be. It is no easy stretch at all for whatever it is. So I admire you guys for starting now instead of putting on a suit and tie and not thinking you could really do it because you can. It's just going to take a lot of work. So yeah, any other questions? Oh, there's a YouTube question. Ha! I'll tell you what they say. Ground Zero Radio, have you thought about holding sets for those under 21? Yes. Our annual events will all be 8. Well, I won't say. Let me not say all. I know a lot of our parties will be 18 on, like, because realistically, I always hated coming home from school and not having somewhere to go, like New Year's, for example. Like, it sucks because then you have to go to your friend's basement, and like that's not fun. You know what I mean? Like, that's not what you want to do. So, yes. So Scott Pritchard says all clubs have hip hop rooms. What will make your hip hop night different than Soundbar? I think Soundbar is great. I love Soundbar. I think the environment and experience that we present, along with a couple of the artists we're going to bring through, are going to make our hip hop night awesome. And then he says, can you talk about your space you're renting? We spoke about how you wanted to rent a space to run the business, but work with the doors open. Oh, great. Yeah, so we're not renting that space, actually, Scott. Oh yeah, Scott, we're not renting the space for graffiti. It's now a part of our company. But in regard to our bigger office space that we are hoping to have built out by the summertime, that's a completely different idea, which is pretty cool. Save me a speed in the office. I will save you a speed, EMC2 Live. So yeah, any more questions?
I just have one thing to say.
Yeah, Kelsey.
Okay, so take it from me. Like, I'm a music business major at Columbia, guys, and before I started working here, I just want to say this. I'll be quick because I know it's late. You have all these questions while you're in school, like, what's the real world going to be like? What am I going to do with this major? You hear all these people saying, you go to liberal arts school, like, okay, what are you going to do? It's a little intimidating, but I promise you, like, there are things you can do. Like this, I'm in this field and I've already accomplished so much, and you have all these questions, but they answer themselves, and you just learn as you go. I came here and I learned so much. I had all these questions that I would ask Jason, and he would just tell me, just do it. And I was like, oh, okay, like, I'll try it.
That's usually because I just like explaining it.
I did it once, and I was like, oh my god, it worked. Like the agent of that company responded. The head of that department from that company answered my email. Holy shit, like, I got a response. Like, I would freaking crap myself when I would get a response from this guy who I thought was such a huge deal at this company, and it makes you feel good. Like, just do it. Like, that's all I can say is try it. That's all you can do in this field is do it. And if you fail, then try something else. But I just want to say that because it's really intimidating.
Thanks for that.
It's really intimidating.
Yeah, that's true. We have honestly, we have a lot of we do have a lot of students that work with us. We have Ron John is graduating. He's on our board. I remember when Ron John was a half-hearted intern. Sorry, man. I mean, like the first 2 months, I didn't know.
Hey, yo, Jason, what's good?
But no, seriously, like we have. I mean, the thing in music, realistically, especially like record labels, like it's not a job that you just get because people don't die and they don't quit. So when you see people that have, hey Jeff, you're like in my crotch. My man, Jeff. Thanks, Jeff. Yeah, there I am. People watching my crotch. All right, so no, the thing with it is like realistically in music business, it is tough to get to a space. That's real. Especially if you want to go like label route. Heads of A&R departments and PR departments and, things of that nature don't quit and they don't die because it's a really good job and it's hard to get another one. So instead of bringing on people we wanted to give people a different opportunity, I guess is the word. We wanted to get people that were just as smart as people that I knew that trained me, but just needed to understand a system. I trust Ron John to do whatever. I trust Patrick and Joel to do anything that's needed. The same thing with Kelsey and everybody else. Maek, for example. It's not how old you are. It's just about if you're willing to do. It takes a lot of extra time. Google will teach you everything you don't learn. That's real. You can Google everything. That's any more questions?
Are you looking for qualified interns?
We're always looking for people. I think people are awesome, and I think there's Maxwell. Hey, Maxwell.
Hey,
I think people are awesome, and realistically, our company is just a bunch of you guys. That's what we are, and we make the impossible happen every day. We were in a Starbucks a couple weeks ago. Literally, I literally found the bathroom light last week to the new place.
Yeah, guys.
Yeah.
We actually are. If you guys do need an internship or anything like that, want to help us out, we do need people for our street team. So you can either contact us on. If you're down to hand out flyers and do really savage work. We're down. We need,
Dude, listen. Pat is such a savage, dude. I called Pat and I was like, hey man, these posters are, such and such. She's like, they're hung up. I was like, whoa, man, we talked 7 minutes ago. He's like, yeah, everywhere. I'm like, all right, man, thanks, Pat.
On the intern page, we're hiring for HR, graphic design, and event planning,
and PR and marketing.
and PR and marketing. So, details on that. If you want more information, I can send out all the details for what requirements are for those positions. If you want to take down my email, it's Kelsey, KHELSEA @maekme.com. Just send me your name, let me know you were here at the press conference, and I'll get back to you by tomorrow with an email about all the stuff I said. Yeah? KHELSEA @maekme.com. Yeah, no problem.
Any more questions?
Okay.
Jason.
My students should hang around for a second.
Oh,
Oh, wait, I have a
But,
question. I have a question.
yeah,
Sorry.
I remember. I forgot somebody. I'm sorry.
Yeah, do it.
Do you think we could go in a little bit further about how you the public interact with deciding who you want to play and all the event planning? Are you gonna have a forum? Are you gonna
Great
use Facebook?
question. Everything. So we're gonna start weekly live streams with our company is one way. So literally, it'll just be a bunch of us, and we'll hop on live stream, and we'll just talk to people that want to hop on it. Our new music festival, we're gonna let people build it. Day Trip was cool. I have a lot of different things we want to do with it, but we're just gonna let people build it and kind of let it be interactive. So should we have swings, or should we have a zoo? I don't know. Just we're gonna put a bunch of parts together and let people kind of build it. So through forums, through questions, and realistically through talking with people. The same thing with our artists. We're gonna let people decide art, listen to songs, let people decide where music should be coming out, what should be done. So we're gonna go a lot of different ways to make sure that people are interactive and engaged, because realistically, we want this to feel as much as you're a part of it as we do.
And you're live streaming right now.
Yeah, we're live streaming
right
right
now.
now.
People are commenting and asking stuff right now.
That's true. Wait, okay, this person said, Jimbo 9533. If you were just working out at Starbucks, how can you afford a 7-figure budget for a festival? Great question, Jimbo.
Doesn't make any sense.
All right, so to answer your question, so Day Trip, when we started, realistically, we had 10 grand, and it was let's do a whole music festival in 10 grand. How are we gonna do it? And we hit the phones hard. So Red Bull gave us skate parks, and we talked with venues, and these people gave us this, and these people gave us that, and we were able to collect a bunch of stuff through partnerships, because realistically, partnerships get you a long way in this space. If you're a musician or if you're a producer, there's so many things you can do. Let's say you were a producer, you can get partnerships to get better equipment. If you're a DJ, you can do the same thing. There's a lot of ways to make it work. But to answer this question, Jimbo, we're getting some money now, I guess. And so, like, I guess, yeah, like we're not as broke as we used to be, which is cool. We know people that like to give stuff, and we have great partners. So realistically, we have great partners, and graffiti's been a very large part of that. So, yeah. Thanks, Jimbo. Anything else? All right. Well, I don't know if you guys want to say anything, Steve, Jay.
I don't know if you guys got any like audio engineering questions, music questions. Go ahead.
I mean, you guys are more than welcome to hang out and talk with the panel. Jason, I'm sure he's not going to run right out of here. I'd like to thank Jason for doing this. Thanks, man. So my students, you got your handouts. There's Moodle. You know what your homework is. It should be pretty clearly spelled out exactly what you need to do by next week. It's a forum post. If my students have questions for me, you can find me right here. Otherwise, hang out, talk, and then you're free to go.
Cool. Hey, thanks for coming, guys. I appreciate it.
Had it.